study of UPL. The UPL stands for Universal Testing Machine, and this machine is used to perform various experiments which are based on the various types of loading which are being applied on the structure. The basic load which are applied on the structure are the axial and the shear load. In axial there will be tension or compression. In the shear there will be shear force. So in tension there is the tensile strength which is performed on the universal testing machine. The compressive test is performed on the universal testing machine. Shear test is also performed on the universal testing machine. And another type of load which is the flexure load. So this flexure test is also performed on the universal testing machine. So all types of tests are performed on the universal testing machine. So here the first experiment is to study of, since all the experiments are to be performed on the universal testing machine. So the first experiment will be the study of universal testing machine. So here when we come to the study of universal testing machine, instead of explaining it on the blackboard, let us come to the machine and see various parts of the machine. This complete machine is called as the universal testing machine. Here this machine is divided into two parts, that is on the left hand side, on the right hand side. This left hand side is called as the loading unit. The unit on the right hand side is called as the control unit. So this loading unit is used for loading the specimen, and the control unit is used for controlling the rate of loading. Here in the control unit, in the loading unit, here there are three crosshead or jaws. This is the upper crosshead, this middle crosshead, and this lower crosshead. These upper and lower crosshead are connected by this cylinder. So when these two are connected, the movement of both these, that is the lower and the upper jaw of the crosshead, will be simultaneously. So both will move in the upward direction or both will move in the downward direction. So this middle crosshead, in general, it is fixed when we start the machine, and this lower and upper crosshead will move in the upward direction. So here this can be used for, since again I have told earlier that this is used for the various types of testing. So here the type of loading are two types. One is the hydraulic loading, another is the mechanical loading. So when we start the mechanical loading, in the mechanical loading, this middle crosshead will move in the upward and downward direction. Here this middle crosshead will move in the upward and downward direction, while this upper and lower crosshead will remain constant, or it will remain stationary. Here this middle crosshead is now moving in the upward direction, and this upper and lower crosshead are stationary. So this is the mechanical loading by which the specimen can be directly subjected to the load. Another type of loading is the hydraulic loading, which is due to the pressure of the fluid which is filled here. And with the help of this, when we start the hydraulic pump, that is due to the hydraulic loading, this upper and lower, this crosshead will move in the upward direction and this middle crosshead will remain stationary. So when this is moving in the upward direction, this middle crosshead remaining stationary. Therefore, if we keep the specimen between this upper and middle crosshead, this is stationary, this is moving upward, so the specimen will be subjected to the tensile forces. Therefore, this part of the machine which is between the upper and middle crosshead is called as the tension zone. Similarly, again if we keep the specimen between this lower crosshead and the middle crosshead, again this is moving in the upward direction, middle is stationary, so the specimen will be subjected to the compressive forces. Therefore, this part of the machine that is between the middle and the lower crosshead is called as the compression zone. So this is all about the loading part. Now coming to the control unit. Here this control unit, there are two knobs or the two valves here. This valve is used for filling the fluid in the machine, and the valve on the right hand side is used for controlling the rate of loading. This capacity of the machine is 40 tons. Here it can be seen on the dial that it is now 40,000. So it is 40 ton is the capacity of the machine. This according to the load which is required to break the specimen, the scale can be modified. It was 40 initially, now it is 20, then 10, then 4. So according to the requirement, the load can be adjusted. That is the maximum load which is to be applied on the specimen will be now 4000 kg. So to take the reading, again here this is when we change the loading, change the scale. Here also the divisions will change. So it is now when it is 10,000 is the maximum load, the one small division will be 20 kg. So accordingly we can take the reading. So another way of taking the reading is with the help of these two pointers. Here there are two pointers, one is the black pointer, another is the red pointer. When the machine is started, this black pointer will move in the rightward direction or in the clockwise direction, indicating the load which is applied on the specimen. So when the load applied on the specimen is suppose 1000, this black pointer will come here. Similarly, this will continuously move, indicating again the load which is applied on the specimen. So when this black pointer is moving, the red pointer will also move with the black pointer. When the specimen fails, the load which is taken by the specimen will become 0. So since this black pointer indicate the amount of load which is applied on the specimen at that time, when the specimen fails, the load taken by the specimen will become 0. Therefore, this black pointer will come to its original position, indicating the 0 load. But this red pointer which was moving with the black pointer will not come its original position, but it will remain at the point of failure. So when the specimen suppose fails here, at that point this black pointer will come to its original position, but this red pointer will remain here. And when the red pointer is here, we can take the reading which will be the maximum load which is applied on the specimen. So these are the use of these two pointers, that is the black pointer and the red pointer. Here there are some knobs, that is for the mechanical operation, middle crosshead up middle crosset down, hydraulic pump on, hydraulic pump on and off. Similarly, this valve, which is on the right hand side, is used to control the rate of loading. This is moving in the anti-clockwise direction. So according to the load which is rate of load which is required for breaking the specimen, this knob can be adjusted so that we can get the required load, rate of load which is required for the specimen. So this is about the control unit. There is another unit in the machine which is called as the graphical unit. So here this graph is to be attached, and with the help of the graph, when we start the machine, this lower and upper crosset will move upward. So here there is the attachment that is for the scale here. So this scale indicate the amount in millimeter or in centimeter by which this lower and upper part has moved in the upward direction. So actually this scale gives the displacement in the specimen. So with this there is a graph to be attached here, and this graph is to give the automatic stress strain curve for the specimen. Another thing, extensometer. Extensometer which is attached to the specimen, which directly gives the value of extension of the specimen. Here in the diagram you can see that this is the extensometer which are attached to the specimen, which can directly give the value of displacement in the specimen. So in this way the displacement of the specimen can be known, the load can be known, therefore the stress strain curve can be plotted, and that stress strain curve is the part of second experiment. But here in the experiment number 1, we have to study the universal testing machine because it is to be used for, this is the extensometer here, it is attached to the specimen and it directly gives the displacement of the specimen. So that is about the description of the machine and end of the experiment number 1.